Emily, a 19-year-old college student, had never liked her family's vacation house at the edge of the woods. The place was too quiet, too isolated, and too old for her liking. But her parents insisted it was a perfect getaway, especially during the snowy winter break. This time, though, she was left alone. Her parents had gone to a dinner party in town, promising to return by midnight. Emily, curled up on the couch with a blanket, was determined to pass the time watching her favorite true crime series. The storm outside howled against the windows, and the occasional creaks of the wooden house blended into the background noise. It was around 9:30 p.m. when Emily noticed something strange. She had paused her show to get a snack from the kitchen, but as she walked back into the living room, she saw the back door was slightly ajar. Emily frowned. She could have sworn it was locked. She had checked all the doors and windows after her parents left. Brushing it off as a draft or her own forgetfulness, she locked the door again, this time turning the deadbolt for extra security. As she turned back, her eyes landed on the large window facing the backyard. The snowstorm had nearly blinded the view, but faintly, very faintly, she thought she saw movement near the tree line. She shook her head. "It's just the wind," she muttered to herself, returning to the couch. An hour later, Emily was dozing off when a loud thump jolted her awake. Her eyes snapped to the hallway leading to the front door. It sounded as if someone had dropped something heavy outside. Gripping her phone, she approached the door cautiously and peeked through the peephole. Nothing. The porch light illuminated the swirling snow, but no one was there. She hesitated before locking the door again, double-checking everything this time. But as she walked back, she noticed something that made her blood run cold. There were wet footprints on the wooden floor, leading from the back door into the house. Her breathing quickened. The footprints weren't hers. They were too large and irregular, as if someone had been dragging their feet. They led down the hallway toward the basement stairs. Emily froze. The basement was always locked. Her father kept old tools and hunting equipment down there. Nobody was supposed to have access, but as she strained her ears, she swore she heard faint shuffling movements below. Her phone buzzed in her hand, breaking the silence. She glanced down. Unknown number. The message read, "Get out of the house." Her heart pounded as she backed away, her gaze fixed on the basement door. That's when she noticed it was slightly open. Emily grabbed a kitchen knife and dialed 911, but the call wouldn't go through. No signal. She frantically moved toward the stairs leading to her room, planning to barricade herself until help arrived. But just as she turned the corner, she froze. At the top of the staircase stood a man. He was tall, with pale skin and hollow eyes, dressed in tattered clothes covered in dirt and snow. But the most horrifying part was his smile, a wide, unnatural grin that stretched across his face. Emily screamed and stumbled back. But when she looked up again, the man was gone. The lights flickered. The house seemed to groan as if it were alive. Emily rushed into her room and locked the door, shoving a chair under the knob. She crouched in the corner, knife in hand, trying to control her ragged breathing. Her phone buzzed again. This time, the message said, "You're not alone. Check the closet." Emily's head snapped toward the closet on the other side of the room. The door was slightly ajar, a crack of darkness visible inside. She wanted to run, but knew there was no way out. Gathering every ounce of courage, she moved toward the closet and yanked the door open. It was empty. But behind her, the chair wedged under the door moved, scraping against the floor. Emily spun around, but the room was empty. The door slowly creaked open, revealing the dark hallway beyond. She stepped back, clutching the knife tightly, and that's when she heard it. soft, raspy breathing behind her. She didn't turn around. She couldn't. The last thing Emily felt was a cold hand on her shoulder and a whisper in her ear. "I told you to leave." The next morning, the house was eerily quiet. Emily's parents returned to find the front door slightly open and the house in perfect order, except for one thing. On the living room window, written in frost, were 3 chilling words: "Don't come back."